Howdy y'all, Christi here, Little Salty Homesteader. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am back today with another monthly North Texas vegetable garden checklist. I like to do these every month so that I, for one, know what I need to do in my garden each month, and so maybe it will help you guys out there know what you need to do as well. Before I get started, I do like to provide my sources for gathering this list for everybody. That way, you guys know I'm not just willy-nilly coming up with stuff. So first of all, my most favorite source for creating this checklist is going to be this book right here, Lone Star Gardening. And this covers pretty much everything that you need to grow anything in your vegetable garden, your flower garden, or even maintain your regular grass lawn for the entire state of Texas. Now, this list is pretty generic for North Texas, but I have talked to people in South Texas and even across the border into Oklahoma who say that their dates and stuff very closely align with what I'm going to give you today. So hopefully, if you're not quite in North Texas, this list will still be useful for you. But outside of the Lone Star Gardening book, that is an excellent resource. I think that every gardener in Texas should own a copy. But outside of that source, the other two sources that I consulted to create this list are going to be the Dallas Garden School website. She has a ton of different articles for growing various things. She also has planting calendars. She has monthly checklists as well. So I just kind of cross-reference everything between this book, her website, and then lastly, my own seedtime.us account. Seedtime.us is a free garden planner, essentially. You type in your zip code, you type in the plants that you're wanting to grow, and it's going to tell you when to either start it indoors, direct sow it outdoors, transplant it. It's going to give you like cultivation dates, expected harvest dates, all kinds of different stuff like that. It's incredibly useful. It gives me my checklist every single morning. So outside of this, I kind of know when I need to be fertilizing or getting the beds prepped for the next crop that's going to go in, stuff like that. So check that out if you're needing a way to kind of keep yourself organized in terms of when and what to plant. So let's get started with this checklist. First of all, the shopping items that you need to kind of procure this month. This is the most boring part for me, so I want to get that out of the way early so we can get to the fun planting part. So soil amendments for garlic planting. If you're going to be growing your own garlic, that requires some very nutrient dense soil. So you're going to want to pick up some compost, some well-aged cow manure, and then a couple of different fertilizers to get that soil ready for the garlic to go in, because this is the month for that. You'll also want to pick up any other fertilizers you might need for the rest of your vegetable garden, whether that is an all-purpose vegetable fertilizer, like a liquid heavy nitrogen fertilizer, blood meal, bone meal, all those different types of things. Make sure you have them on hand. You're also going to want to pick up mulch. Now, our expected frost date is November the 15th, which is next month, but that is just like an average. It could happen sooner than that, it could happen later. It's a good idea to have the things on hand to go ahead and protect the plants that you want to protect. Like maybe you have some peppers that you're still harvesting off of. So pick up mulch, pick up frost cloth if you don't already have it. And then if you plan on starting your onions by seed, go ahead and get those seeds as well. I ordered my seeds from Haas Tools. They'll actually be here on Monday. So I will be ready to go after that. All right, so that's all the shopping, really. That's all the boring part. So now we get to the fun part. So for seed starting for the month of October here in North Texas, and seed starting, I mean you start it indoors, transplant it out later. The only thing that you're gonna worry about starting this month is going to be those onions. Yellow, white, red, whatever you prefer. Just make sure that they are going to be short day or intermediate day types. Long day types will not bulb well here in North Texas. All right, so the direct sow list is also relatively short, but it does have some very useful and yummy things on it. So you're gonna have some cool season herbs that you can direct sow this month, and those are going to include things like dill, parsley, and cilantro. Now, those are not heat tolerant herbs, so if you tried to grow them over the summer, you probably noticed they piddled out very quickly, or they bolted and went to seed, and you weren't really able to get a very fruitful harvest from them. Try them again now. Now that the temperatures are cooling down, they will probably do much better for you. They also have a little bit of frost tolerance. So if you're growing them through November, you should still be able to get some use out of them up until it gets entirely too cold and we start to get deep freezes. You can also direct sow radishes up until the 15th of the month. Now, radishes grow very, very quickly. So I started direct sowing radishes in early September, and I have been succession sowing them, and I have one more round that I'm going to be putting in the next few days. And then here in the next few days I can start harvesting that first round that I already got in. And then towards the end of the month, the most exciting thing that you can direct sow into your garden is going to be garlic. Now, garlic takes a long time to reach maturity, at least 8 months, and it requires the cold of winter in order to formulate those bulbs that we love to eat and utilize in our kitchen. So you have to get them planted in mid to late October or early November. You want to get them in before the soil is too cold and too hard from deep freezes for them to be able to germinate and start to grow roots. But you want to get them in late enough where it's not so hot they just don't do anything. So the end of October, mid to late October and early November is going to be your best bet for getting the garlic into its planting location. Now, if you have other seed starts, there's a lot that can be transplanted out this month. And if you already have those seed starts, you're likely already aware of what they are. But if you're wanting to go pick up the seed starts from like your local nursery or a big box store or a fellow gardener, whatever it might be, some things that you can transplant out in the month of October include brassicas like broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, and cauliflower. You can also transplant out leafy greens like lettuce, collard greens, mustard greens, kale, Swiss chard, and spinach. And then you can also transplant leeks if you have them. I have never grown leeks, so I don't have much experience on the when and the how of that, but if you wanted to get them in your garden, now is the month to do that. Outside of edible stuff, you can also plant some decorative things, some cool season annual flowers like pansies, ornamental kale, snapdragons, and calendula can all be transplanted out into your garden. A lot of these are going to have some frost tolerance. Some will have more frost tolerance than others, like the ornamental kale and the pansies, but you should be able to get some blooms through November and maybe into early December, depending upon how mild our temperatures are here. All right, and now for the maintenance tasks. These aren't always the most fun, but they're always super important. So the first thing you're going to want to do is fertilize your lawn if you care about your grass, and then any perennials that you may have growing. This includes fruit trees, shrubs, flowering perennials, like I have some salvia out here that probably could use a little fertilizer. You'll also want to prune any trees, shrubs, lawn, and any tropical plants. If you're growing a tropical hibiscus, go ahead and prune that. And then lastly, the last maintenance task for this month is going to be to prepare for that first frost. Remember early on in the video, I said that our average first frost date is November the 15th, but it could happen sooner. So make sure that you have at least 3 inches of mulch applied across your entire garden. That's going to help insulate those roots and help protect them from any cold snaps that might come through. You also want to be prepared to cover things with frost cloth that you want to protect. Like again, the peppers. If you're still trying to harvest a few more peppers before winter sets in, consider having a frost cloth on hand so that if we do get an unexpected cold snap, you can protect them, get what you need off of them before you ultimately cut them down for the winter. If you have some things that a frost cloth won't really work well with, be prepared to move them inside. Like I have that lime tree right there and that rolling planter there. So he's gonna go inside for the winter, and then we will kind of play plant roulette with the weather, and on milder days it'll come out, on colder days it'll go in, and hopefully we'll keep that lime tree nice and happy. But just be prepared to do that if we get unexpected colder weather in the month of October. But that's all I have for you for this month's North Texas monthly task list. If you found this video useful and you want to see more monthly task lists, please like, subscribe, and comment to this video. Otherwise, until next time, go find a way to get those garden manicures. Bye.